Thank you, Fortune Axe.
Will be rewarded.
All right. Welcome back to the Cheese Showdown. Now, first, before we get started, I want to talk about what's happening. These were from Pig, who put on some show matches and is kind enough to send some of the sick replays out to his subscribers. I happen to be one of those subscribers, and this entire show match is brought to you by him. I'm just taking a look at it. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's a best of 7, and I don't know if it's supposed to be just cheese, or the players themselves are always just going to be cheesy. But we have NoRegret, a North American player who's been living in Korea, qualified for Code S just last season, but is known for his less-than-standard tactics. And then we have, his name is in not English here. Then we have Has, the Chinese or Taiwanese Protoss player who also has less-than-standard tactics, as we've seen many times in the past. So, we got two WCS level players duking it out. And let's get started. In the bottom right, it is Has. Yeah, okay, well, why are we doing this whole intro thing? Anyways, in the top left, from, I believe, America, maybe Canada, but I believe he's American. Anyways, it's NoRegret. We'll see if he has any regrets about how this best of 7 goes. But there's already a probe out on the map. And there's already a drone going to the gold. Alright, we're getting started real bright and early here. A gateway is being built, but he's looking to pylon block. Unfortunately, you can't pylon block if he doesn't want to take that base in the first place. NoRegret diving straight towards the gold. I wonder if the probe will figure this out. If he goes up into the main, he sees there's no spawning pool, he's going to go straight to it. You know, both these players do such strategies. They're going to be fully expecting and easily reacting to what their opponents are doing. Alright, it is going to be a one. Nope, there's a forge. Alright, here we go. He's hiding the probe. I'm not sure what he was looking for, the overlord positioning. But the gate, it looked like for a second he considered a nexus. And that second passed, and now we're going for cannons. Here we go. He sees the gold base. Will he start on the low ground? It's really difficult to actually dislodge cannons if they start here, because the minerals, it's so easy to just tuck pylons and cannons into the minerals. If the cannons start and get anywhere close to completion, drones are not stopping them. Even some Zerglings probably won't be stopping them. I'm not sure if there's enough space back here. A lot of drones are coming off the line, but the pylon is already completed. Does he see it? He has to have his suspicions about Has. The drone's in the back. He's actually walled off. Well, not walled off, but the surface area is incredibly limited on this cannon. He's gonna wall off the mineral line on the other side. This cannon is gonna complete. He's gonna get 2 of them, but it's the one cannon in the back. Only 2 drones can really hit. Oh, wait! He tucks it in, but he's walled off on the other side! The pylons are tucked up against everything. The drones are off the line, and the cannon will actually complete. Will the drones finish it off in time? They should, but at heavy losses. Oh, and he helps with the probe! The probe allows it to 2-shot! The probe hits are actually doing something. It's happening. 3 pylons, 4 pylons, and 1 cannon remain. And that cannon is tucked in there like a way too tight Christmas sweater, except this is a present that NoRegret never wanted. Okay, it's like getting socks when you're below the age of 15. Socks are amazing now. I'll take socks though. Like if anybody wants to gift me socks on Amazon wish list, I'll take socks. All right, let's be honest here. Socks are amazing. But it looks like he's just going to target down. 11 kills on the cannon. 1 more will be dodged out. Only 4 drones have gone down. It seems like it was a little bit worse than that, but and that's a lot of investment here. NoRegret actually handling this masterfully. Impressive defense. I was pretty sure this base was gone, and NoRegret's chances with it, but I was proven wrong. As has been repelled. It gets real confusing. There is a gate done. Does he have... He does have a mothership core. An evolution chamber opens up the opportunity to go for Zergling drop. We will have to see. +1 melee attack. I think at this point, NoRegret starting to realize, yeah, he can do the Ling drop, but what? He's killing his own probe to get an Adept out! A Stalker, rather. Has just killed his own probe to become unsupply blocked instead of waiting another, like, 7 seconds for the Nexus. That's how important it is, but it's already too late. The elevator has begun. The Lings are getting out their boarding passes and holding them up at the GSL like everybody does. Like, look, I came from far away. Here's my boarding pass or train ticket. We always get a shot or two of that. And then, of course, the Korean girl next to the guy hiding her face, usually half-heartedly. Not that this is anywhere related to the game. The Lings will get in. The elevator will reach its destination. There aren't that many units. There's a single Zealot tucked in here, but Zealots don't have very much range. The probes are forced to come off the line. That's never the situation you really want. The worker count is 31 to 25, and NoRegret is going for the... Has is taking a gold! I didn't even realize there was so much action happening in the main. He's taken the gold. NoRegret is now mining heavily from the gold and getting a lair and a third. So both players are going towards 3 bases, though neither of them know it. The classic Has strategy. Things get weird. All right, let's just take a gold base. The Ling's killing 5 probes and forcing a lot of lost mining time on top of forcing this unit production. Even a hard wall with 2 cannons. Fortunately, he does have other opportunities here. Will he recall some probes to the gold base? I don't think he'll commit that much. The Dropper Lord is still here. A 4th base being taken by NoRegret. He is just shooting up the tech tree right now. A Hydralisk Den, a Baneling Nest. He's already got the +1 melee. We could see +2 added on if he's feeling extra greedy. That gold base has yet to be scouted out, but the additional bases... I mean, at this point, when the attack has kind of stalled out, and is he actually... Oh my god, he's gotta sell it. He's gotta sell it. He's taking a gold base with a very minimal amount of units. He's trying to convince NoRegret, okay, there's nothing to see. You're a little bit ahead. My 3rd base is pretty delayed. Just go ahead, keep macroing. But wait. He's a gold digger. He's already got a 3rd base mining. He's really selling NoRegret on this 3rd idea. And if he continues buying, he's gonna go broke. What is the worker count? It's 51 to 43. This is the kicker. There's always a kicker with Has. That's sometimes multiple. It's just an overall beating. The drone count isn't particularly high. The income's a little bit in favor of NoRegret, but the gold base is doing a lot to even that out. The Banelings will bust through. He doesn't really have that many Lings to punish this base, though. He'll get the Adepts, but that's a lot of cost. When Banelings attack, they die. That's how it works. Thank you, Sharkist. 6 months, welcome back. He's continuing to stream in Lings. It looks like he will get this base, and Has will look very sad about it. I'm sure he'll cancel at the last second. Look like, oh, maybe I was going to try to save it. No, we know what's happening. Of course we know what's happening. He's actually got more. He's at 55 probes. He does want another base. The main base is starting to dry up. We're not quite there, but... Oh my god! 9 more gateways! We're going to go from 2 gates to 10? No, 11. 11 gates. The 11 gates. And just charge lots. He's not even... He's only mining, like, 2 gases on 3... 11 gate charge lot. Alright. So that's the play. Will the Lings find the gold? That is all of the income. He hasn't thought of it. The 11 gates are nearly complete. He's working on maybe getting some Archons with the Templar. That's actually really key. He's right that the base is right there. If he knocks this out, that's all the income Has was expecting. Just gone before the attack even really starts. The wall? He's gonna see everything. The main base and Artosis pylon is covered as well. The gateways haven't opened up yet. NoRegret getting a beautiful backstab here at a very inopportune timing. Some more Zealots are being warped in. He has money in the bank. Is he supply blocked? No, he's not. But NoRegret, how do you deal with this? He gets the pylon! Oh, somewhere in Korea, Artosis is shaking in his boots as the pylon depowers 6 gateways, a Templar Archives, and leaves him without any defense, and he will lose the Templar Archives. That split second. And he lost everything. The wind is not only taken out of his sails, he's been thrown into a hard vacuum. And at this point, NoRegret with 59. Well, there's still a warp prism on the map, and he can still warp in 11 charge lots at a time, but I don't know, Has. And he's within vision here, so he kind of needs to calm down on that. NoRegret has to start realizing he's going to mine out of the gold. He's going to be on almost equal income because Has still has. Oh my god. It's so difficult. The gold base to himself. There's still a lot of money in the bank, but remember, that's not... the Archons couldn't get out of the main. He had to kill one of his own. Wait, was that the... Did he just kill his Cyber Core? He killed his Cyber Core. Who needs that shit? Alright? I'm just making Zealots. Zealots and Templar. That's all he needs. Another massive warp. He killed his Cyber Core to get out. Alright, 148 to 107 supply. The Zealots are trying to come in from a nice angle as he dances around at home. He still has some Archons with this. +1 attack is done. These Zealots will be cleaned up. Assassinating Queens can help, and of course cutting off the reinforcements. But the fight in the middle is going NoRegret's way. The charge lots are being cleaned up, and Has is looking closer and closer to ultimate defeat. But another massive warping into the main. Well, enough Hydralisks are coming back. They don't have any upgrades, but I don't know how much that's going to matter in this number. No more Archons have been... Well, I take that... Well, I think these were actually the Archons from before, based on how softened up they are. Another pylon powering everything. Goes down. As we'll continue forward, a lot of charge lots. The Archons wasting their shots, though. Archons are really good. Archons are really, really good. They're not that good, though. He's not going to surmount these numbers. NoRegret still with absolutely no vision. I don't know if he's willfully ignorant or just starting to realize has his mind out, but thank you, Proxy Battlecruiser. NoRegret looking to go up in game number 1. There's another Zealot warping at the back. There's actually nothing. He's forced to pull back all these lings. They do have +2. They can clean up the charge lots pretty well. There's going to be more Archons, and did I mention Archons are really good? NoRegret only had 35 drones now. The Zealots will be cleaned up. Has he gotten any of... He's down to 31 drones. His income is actually quite low. Has isn't doing much better. That much is obvious. The Hydralisks in the main. This could be a mistake. He can actually crush these Hydras. And NoRegret doesn't really... The probes are fighting. It's not like he has anywhere to mine from, though, really, right? Another warping into the main, but the Hydra's already here. Does he not see it? He doesn't see it! Somehow we've almost drawn even in the supplies, as NoRegret has been stretched a little too thin. He's lost a lot of his workers. 35 have gone down. He's killed 30 probes. The gold base has pretty much mined out without ever being scouted. A single Archon and 5 charge lots will throw the Hydras back. He gets out of there. Another drone goes down, but somehow Has is still fighting, and he's not too far down on army. So, are you making another gate? Are you serious? Do you really think you have the money for that right now? As the rest of the probes, pretty much, in the main are going to be cleaned up. We're looking at a pretty all-in situation. If he can bring everything to bear and bring the hammer down on Has's forces, he has banelings in front to clear out the Zealots, and then the Hydralisk can micro. Well, that's a lot of Archons. We're looking at 6 Archons. He has the Warp Prism to help. Has is coming in the final assault. +2 is, well, actually got delayed. The Warp Prism decides it doesn't want to be here anymore. The Hydralisk count is a little bit too high. Wait, what? Okay, yes, it is. Alright, and Has will tap out in game 1. But that's only one of this best of 7. Once again put on by Pig a few nights ago. That was a bit of a roller coaster. I don't know. When you get these two in a game together, games like that are bound to happen. That's just how it is. All right, let's jump into game number 2. No Regret is Canadian? Yeah, it's a cheese off. Well, they didn't need to be told it was a cheese off, because it's No Regret and Has. It would have been a cheese off either way. And I like their take on it. I do appreciate their take, where it's not like you have to one base or proxy. It's still cheesy to go for a gold base and then a ling drop and also just randomly cannon rush before expanding to a gold, right? But whipping out the 12 pool. Oh, wait. That's the wrong scores. We don't do it so pro here. With the 12 pool, the Canadian WCS Zerg, refusing to make any additional drones before a pool. It's No Regret. And in the bottom right, the Taiwanese cheese aficionado with 3 Michelin stars for the spiciest and most delectable cheese. And all of Star... Is that good? 3 is good. Or 1 is good. At least he has a Michelin... I don't know exactly how that whole deal works. I haven't watched that much Food Network. I've watched a little bit. Food Network's pretty amazing. Unrelated. Yeah, 3 Michelin stars. That's good. But it's Has, the Taiwanese Protoss champion. I don't even know if you can really call him a Protoss. He makes it look like it's an entirely different race. He plays Protoss. No one else plays Protoss like Has plays Protoss. All right. He has redefined. He's just morphed Protoss into something completely new. Better? Maybe. Dirtier? Absolutely. But who doesn't like it a little dirty? All right. The Nexus will come up. Is he just going to let these Zerglings come in? Does he actually think he can wall off in time? The Zealot will retreat. He's just going to try to dance around this here. He didn't expect him to make these links. He didn't expect once the pool was scouted for this many links to be made, I guess. Or he just feels confident defending. That's fine, too. Really good micro here. Only 1 probe, 2 probes have gone down. But remember, to do this, he's already down 7 workers. It's 13 to 20. Oh, the pylon at the last second, trying to bait some more hits out. He does need that pylon to be on supply blocked in a moment. And No Regret, just continuing. He's barreling down this strategy. Speed is on the way. He has not stopped making Zerglings, and he's adding on the Dropper Lord potentially here. 1 Zealot gets caught out. The other one comes off the line, has full shields. He tries to save the 1. A lot of Lings are going down, but Speed is nearly complete. A Mothership Core is on the way. He can blast down this Overlord. That could be the end of things. It's right there. You can see it. Is he gonna blast it? He's waiting. Well, he knows a lot of Zerglings could be coming in at the front. Another pylon in the back. Is that a wall? Indeed it is. This Adept has a lot of work to do. He really is holding on to these overcharges. He may need one at the front. Why not? We're gonna have a Stargate to wall. The Adept finds itself on the wrong side of history. Another pylon goes down. He gets the probe. There's another probe at the back. The Adept continuing to work on this. But we see an overcharge pop. Is he going to let this fall? He will. The Adept gets surrounded. No Regret going forward. The overcharge is popped. He doesn't have that much energy. He doesn't have enough for another one, and there's nothing in the mineral line. He's going to be forced to retreat. That second Adept spawning just on the worst possible side of things. That really did hurt here. But the probes are called into battle. They're drafted in the service. Is there time for another Overlord? The elevator comes up. This pylon's gonna go down. There's a hard wall at the front, but the Zerglings are in the main. More probes off the line. I thought that was an Adept for a second. Wait, there is an Adept. It's underneath there. More Zerglings getting elevated into the mains, quickly becoming overwhelming in number. More probes gonna fall. The Adept trying to get surrounded and killed. It looks like it will go down. No! He saves it! 2 more Zerglings come in. He's going for the save. The Adept, it runs, and no, the Zergling will take it out. That could be the difference between a win and a loss here. Oh no, the Overlord was on hold position, and now will be holding position in hell, as No Regret has been repelled. It's still 15 probes to 11 drones because he used one of his precious drones in order to make a hatchery. There's no gas to make any oracles. There's barely anything, but NoRegret has less drones than when he started. The Cyber Core. There's enough for an overcharge in a split second. Will he pop it immediately? He's just going to give up the Cyber Core. That's kind of a weird thing to say, but the Cyber Core. Yeah, maybe dropping in the exact location that the drop happened before. NoRegret going to try to quote-unquote macro. There's a probe on the map? When did this happen? The probe is still there. Did NoRegret see it? Is he hunting for it, or is he just... He has to be hunting. He has to have seen it. The probe had to get too close there. Has with a probe on the map is always a dangerous proposition. It will be taken out. Another Cyber Core will be rebuilt. He does not have Warp Gate. He never even started Warp Gate. He did not have the money for Warp Gate, and that's hard to say. The Stargate has been scouted. There is going to be a second queen as well. 3 queens can repel an oracle if they get a perfect jump on it, but... And the oracle was scouted. He can't afford to lose drones here. He's already down by 6. If he gets a few shots off with a couple queens right off the bat, that could make the difference. He's actually investing in a Spore Crawler because he's going to have 2 queens in the main, but only 1 at the net. Unfortunately, the oracle's already here. He's going straight for the drone line. Oh, but the queens, with their unlimited range, not even close. 7 HP. Gets 3 drone kills, forces some mining time, and NoRegret is looking in a worse and worse scenario. You don't want to be behind on probes against someone who has superior tech. It's pretty simple. Alright. A Twilight Council just to spice things up. A few pylons across the board. But it's feeling like this has his game to lose. You could say he has it in the bag. But we're not quite there yet, because he doesn't have something that can end the game. That's what the Twilight Council is for. We're at the point where, yeah, you can do damage with oracles, but they're expensive, and if you keep committing, the economy is so low that queens are going to be a very cost-effective defense. You need something else. Is it going to be charge? I have a feeling we might see charge here, just to make sure he has the ability to kill those queens. Give me the charge, Has. Let me get in the mind of a dirty Protoss. As he's microing back, he's got a revelation. A lot of workers here as well. And he's got armor on the way. This has to be charge. Why aren't you starting an upgrade? What are you doing? Glaive the Depths with +1 armor? What? No, okay, he cancels and gets charged. Okay, alright. Even Has isn't trying to break the meta that much. Is there enough energy on these oracles to kill this? I believe there is. Losing that third base in that production. It's going to be different. When he has a dozen adepts shading across the map. Well, not adepts, rather. Charge lots. Now, I'm all confused. Everybody's confused. But there is no third. He's starting to mine out towards the main, but the same can be said of NoRegret. If he's able to get the Hydralisk out in large enough number with Zerglings in front, because we're not really looking at Templar right now. We're not looking at Archons, and we're definitely not looking at Storm. He wants to hit, and soon, because he knows the pressure he's put on with these oracles. It's a limited time only policy. Alright, the oracles, unless you're going to continue going for them, once you have a Spore, a handful of queens with energy, they will be shut down. And Has doesn't have a third. While he knows NoRegret, he can't really deny the third. He delayed one that just started, but nothing else here. So eventually NoRegret is going to catch up in that worker count. He's already up 49 to 45. He's going to catch up in the tech. He's got a layer with muscular augments on the way. So if Has doesn't strike a critical blow in the next couple minutes here before NoRegret gets his third base fully online, well, it's not looking as great. It's looking a lot like last game then, where he had a lot of charge lots and a lot of tech, but NoRegret just had too much momentum. That's a lot of charge. Is there a Baneling Nest? Well, NoRegret realizing, yeah, might need that. Baneling's the only real direct counter to charge lots in this number, especially this early on. Later on, you get Fungal. You get things like Lurkers or even Swarm Hosts, but early on, there's no substitute for Banelings. Roaches don't do the trick. Hydras definitely don't. You gotta have those banelings to eat into the zealots or they'll just overwhelm you. Especially since he's opted for +1 armor. What he's trying to do is just get up in his grill and all up in his business, and those hydras, they don't get no personal space, all right? They might say, stay out of my personal space. Don't come near my personal space. This is my personal... I don't like letting you're near my personal space. But unfortunately, Has is all about being up in it. And he's got a couple Archons and Char's Lots, which are going to make that a lot easier. Banelings do complete. He doesn't have any upgrades. But the attack is coming out. Archons in the main. Charge lots towards the net. This is a difficult spread of units to deal with. The Hydralisks are on the way back. Charge lots from the right as well. He's going straight for the hatch. The Banelings will split off if he can defend all 3 sides. Hydra's on this one. The Banelings aren't killing the Zealots fast enough, but he went on to A move. A warping in the main, though. This is where the real damage is starting to be done. He pulls the Archons out. 14 workers have been killed now. That includes a few from the... Oh, no, he can't lose the Warp Prism. Okay. Ooh, that's so important. If you lose the Prism, you're in so much trouble. 2 Archons and a Warp Prism are not acceptable losses right now. Archon's pretty good against Lynx. Sees the Hydralis, though. It's time to pull back. Oh. How many kills? 18 kills, 13. But you can't lose the Prism. Mistakes were made. Those Archons are floating their way back to safety, but the Lings will be going for a wraparound here. At least one Archon should go down. Somehow both Archons have lived through all of that. They won't live through much longer. And does Has have any units? Where are your units? You don't he doesn't have any units. He's going for Storm. He's trying to hold on. He's relying on Overcharge, but the Banelings can crash through. Yeah, he's right on top of the pylons. A few seconds out on the Storm. If he's able to get a couple Storm, it's too late, though. If he loses the 3rd, he loses any income. Doesn't matter how 6 city these Storms are. Just a couple seconds. There it is. He's losing the Templar. The Storms rain down, but there are no units to follow it up. The Hydralisk bought dangerously low, but no regret. Will power through. Has a little bit too cute on the counterattack. A little bit too much. And he finds himself once again on the losing end. That's 2-0 for No Regret. All right. We're back to the Ultimate Cheese Fest, hosted by Pig. And, well, I wanted to watch these games, so he was kind enough to send out the replays. Make sure to check out Pig, of course. The best random player, especially who streams, but in the world, possibly. At least who plays random regularly. Twitch.tv/x5_pig, and of course YouTube and all of that. Thank you, NDL, for that sum. But we're on Acolyte. No Regret up 2-0. Has looking good in both games up until he wasn't. No Regret has deflected most of the high-powered Protoss cheese. And No Regret has been able to stabilize in time to win the games. There's a gold base on Acolyte, if you guys didn't know. Now, you don't usually see a gold base in the first, say, 1 to 20 minutes of the game. But No Regret is deciding to go with a gold first, so sticking to that strategy from previously. The probe, I think on this map, Has is going to be a little bit more confused. He's going to have to think a little harder about what's happening here. On Odyssey, it's a little bit more obvious. On Acolyte, I don't think I've ever seen this. Ever on this map. I mean, it's just so easy to take a regular expansion. Is usually why you see a lot of players not even bother with things like this. But he's searching around. He doesn't, you can tell he's not queuing up the probe to the gold. He doesn't actually know what to think here. And instead of worrying about what to think, it looks like he's probably just going to 4-gate. Oh, he might know. Okay, never mind. I underestimate the mind of Has. It is too beautiful and terrible simultaneously for any of us to comprehend. He already knows what's happening, and he's going to be 4-gating. He's already set up a pylon, hid the probe, and working on a zealot. Wait, a Stargate. Okay, I have no predictions. The zealot does come in. The queen isn't quite done. That will help out a lot. No regret with most of his drone money. Actually, beautiful here. Great micro, only losing a ling. I know we're going to be in a comfortable position, but an Oracle could really throw a twist into this. Zergling speed's still kind of far out, so he's going to have trouble dealing with the Adepts. No more gas mining. He just wants that Zergling speed to be able to handle himself on the ground. Is there a chance this could be like a Void Ray? No, it has to be an Oracle. Oracles are so good. The first 2 Adepts come in. He's going for the drones. There's only 21 drones. The gold base is the only thing that really gives him that advantage. Another gold base is being taken! He might be no regret, but if I were him, I would regret this. Considering I know what's coming. He doesn't have vision. He doesn't know hasn't expanded yet. He just, I mean, you can assume 2 gates, but then usually an expand, right? Not an Oracle! Well, he's about to have an unhappy revelation. As the Oracle's going directly... There are 2 queens here. So he does have that basic defense. The Oracle could be shut down immediately. Unless the queens are out of position. And every drone counts. Every single drone counts for so much. He's dropping under 20 drones here. This is a massive deal. That's 1/10 of his income. 1/20th of his income every time a drone dies. Yeah, even I can do that math. But if the second gold base actually comes up and starts mining, Has is now expanding. But the Oracle has been deflected quite strongly. And does he have any suspicions as to where that Stargate is? Because the Oracle shouldn't have been coming in from that direction at that timing. That's just not something that should have happened. Do we see a stasis ward? Yes, but he's already preemptively triggering it. Stasis ward, of course, on a gold base with less mineral patches. For those who don't know, the gold bases usually have 6 mineral patches as opposed to 8. Which means you can get the same income as you would with a blue base with less workers, because they mine 40% more. But the total income from a gold base at full saturation is the same as a blue base. The benefit is, of course, less workers doing more work. But it looks like we're going to be going towards a Baneling bust on the other side. And there are a couple pylons, but he doesn't have a mothership core. So that's not going to matter too much. This is actually a masterful play. 5 more gates on the way. Warp gate is done. Yes. He gets the Adept away at the last second. He needs all these gateways to complete. He needs a mothership core. The Oracles are scrambling back. But it's going to be a while before they're here. The worker count is about to be obliterated. We've already seen 9 go down so far, and that's not going to end. Another shot. Has is being gutted. GG. It's over. It's over. And that was a quick and dirty one. The double gold base coming out on top. Nobody could have expected this. All right. A 3-0 lead. Has just not able to pull one over on the Canadian juggernaut. As we go into game 4. Has 1 game away from elimination. There's also a chance they made him play. Well, we'll see, we'll see. But it's going to be on Catalano. I think we need a good old-fashioned cannon rush now out of Has. Just a good, organic, grass-fed, pylon-powered, pre-Nexus cannon rush. That's what we need. I'm feeling it. That is his bread and his butter. Will this Overlord see the probe? Not quite. All right. Does he agree with me? Do you agree? Unfortunately not. But at the same time, why do we not see... Okay, it's going to be a hatch first. Has not opting to go down and pressure. He will see it's a hatch first, and he will pretty soon be able to determine where that hatch is. Are we looking at a nexus or at a forge? Do it. Do it! Do it! Alright. The forge is created. He's sending out another probe. Was this scouted? I'm not sure if this one was scouted. If it was, that's a pretty massive tell. It's gonna fly, go right by this overload. Is he preemptively oh my god. He dodged the OV there. Well, I mean, that's kind of... And a 3 pylon block! No regret, can't see it. Well, the building doesn't have vision while it's building. It has very limited. Oh, just the classic. We're going back. This is some 2010 flavored bullshit. Surprise, motherfucker! The pylons are already done, and Probius is already going to work. Immediately the cancel on the hatch. That is not completing. No Regret started to have his suspicions, and they were well-founded. But what's the play here? Just a classic 3 pylon cannon rush. And the pool is... The pool is vulnerable. If he loses the pool, Has doesn't quite have enough. He's going to go for the cannons. I think that one hits the low ground. He's pulling the drones. He realizes he has to put some damage on this. He's losing workers. The lings are coming out. He needs to do enough damage. Because the spine crawlers will not be up in time. They'll actually die. He loses the probe on the high ground. This cannon not canceled. But if he loses the pool, he loses the spines, he loses the ball game. He cancels everything. He's abandoning everything. He's building another pool. Is he going to lose Zergling speed as well? He has no other tech. He has no money. It's all invested in the metabolic boost. But the cannons are very angry, and they're blasting that pool to pieces. It's 23-17 workers in favor of the Protoss. And I said, we just got to see no Zergling speed. Good day, sir. Has already in an incredible position, resetting that tech tree. Another base will be taken, but this isn't a gold. This wasn't planned. This is panic. And it seems no plan survives contact with the cannon rush. But now, no regret. He's restarting his Zergling speed. He's made an evolution chamber, so he can get out of his main with Ling Drop. But there's already a Stargate. The classic old-fashioned cannon rush. There's no way a Ling Drop does damage. Has is already in a nearly winning position. The supplies might be even, but that does not tell any of this story. Losing the pool, losing speed, losing drones, having to cancel spines and a hatch. Everything went right. At this point, if you're a Zerg player, you want to leave the game, but you're not dead. So you shouldn't. That's how it feels. But he knows how bad this spot is. He's going to do a 2-pronged elevator here. But I think a probe is actually about to scout it. No, not quite, but... The probe might be looking for hidden bases. I'm not sure. Not that it matters. But this is... He has to walk slowly across. The mothership core is done with... going on 2 overcharges. The Oracle and the cannons will be completed at the front by the time these lings get here. This is all... It's 101 flavors of bad. Alright, this is... Has is fighting his way back with his trademark unit. Trademark unit, of course, which is a probe. Used to build his trademark building, which is cannon. There are already... He's going for OB speed. He's going to do a queen drop follow-up. He's going to attempt it at least. Which could be something. Queens on either side, Overlord speed, so no regret is making his call here. This base has not been scouted. I'm not sure. Did he just transfer drones via his Overlord elevator across the entire map? Yes. The answer is yes. He can't take a second guess because cannons... unfortunately. So, I didn't even think of this, but this, is it just too late already? Are there just too many units? Too much overcharge? There are pylons all over the place. He saw the queens. He knows there's not a lair. Has already kind of put this information together. He saw the queens. He saw no lair at the main. So the chances are either there's a hidden base with a Nidus network or a queen drop. So just making pylons all throughout your main does seem like the play here. Has figured it out. I mean, there's not too much deduction to do. And on it, these overlords are actually so expensive. He's got 3 cannons at the front. Like, this is... I think he knows what's happening. I think he has an idea of what's going on. If you're NoRegret, do you actually unload or do you just tap out? That's the question here. Like... I think he's got a pretty good... The lings in the main can't escape because pylons. He tried to take another gas for like the 3rd time, and the cannons for a 3rd time shut that down. He needs more overlords, but overlords are actually something he can't afford. He has several at home, but this is all the... there's even a stasis ward behind the cannon. Come on. He's super dead. Oh, God. There's a stasis ward in the main. I mean, he's mining gas. He's going for a lair. What do you gotta go for? A Nidus? Infestors? Oh, God. The Void Rays are on their way over. He's mining off of 2 gases. His lair is finally done. What do you build? A Hydralistan? Oh my God. Oh, that's a lot of deadlings. The queens could have helped out a lot. The cannons... Oh my. That's a lot of deadlings. He will finally break out of his main. He tried to escape from prison the hard way. And this was even harder. The worker count is 47 to 37. NoRegret once again in a position to potentially stabilize and, like he has several times, recover. But before, he was still in the race. He was still in the race, all right? He fell behind, but he was able to find that strength and hold on. This is kind of like right now Has is driving a Bugatti and NoRegret is driving a unicycle. This isn't a race anymore. It's, depending on how you look at it, somewhere between sad and hilarious. A little bit of both. And if he comes back from this, the laws of Starcraft may have been broken permanently. There's still, like, he's trying to catch up in workers. He's mining out of his main. Has can take another base at any time. He's not vulnerable to attack. He might not be so able to attack himself, but NoRegret's going to be supply blocked again. There are 7 Void Rays against 7 Hydras and an Oracle. I don't have to tell you how that goes. Even with muscular augments, the Hydras try to slither away. Good luck with that. The Oracle may be taken out. Just kidding. The Void Rays shine their prismatic beams and immediately cause molecular disassociation by force. The Queen's reinforced! He's going for he charges up to kill the Overlords. That will slow him down chasing the Hydras. A little bit of you know you can cancel it, Has. You can cancel this. It doesn't do extra damage. You can cancel the prismatic alignment. Fun fact. +1 is done for the Void Rays as well. There's no even hint of upgrades for NoRegret. He's going to expand to his natural for the 2nd time in 10 minutes. Has finally taken a 3rd. I feel like he's a little bit slow on this. This is interesting. Another Overlord goes down. NoRegret at 66 to 103 supply. He has held, but at what cost? It has been unmitigated disaster. The cannon rush follows through. And that means we're going to Game 5. Has will put a point on the board. And it's 3-1. All right. Game 5 on Mac Depot. We've survived. Catalana, Acolyte, Odyssey, and whatever the other one was. What was the first map? My brain hurts. Ascension to Ire. And now we move on to Mac Depot. The largest map in the entire map pool. Plenty of room for activities, whatever those activities might be. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of interesting and less than common ones from these players. Does he go? He seems to like the gateway and then just follow up with a forge. All right, don't just go for the forge right off the bat. There's no reason to commit if he's going for something like a 12 pool. The probe will be scouted out by the Overlord. That's not surprising information. But what looks to be a relatively standard opener thus far, out of both sides. A little bit of mining micro here. Now, fun fact, we're going to go into quick tip mode. When you see players doing that, the way the AI works is the mineral patch sends a message to workers who want to mine from it. If there's already a worker mining from it, workers will try to go to a different patch. It doesn't care whose worker it is. If a probe is trying to mine temporarily while interrupting itself on that patch while a drone goes to it, it will interrupt the... Oh my god, never mind! Stop the presses! Doesn't matter anymore. None of that matters. There are 3 pylons. Of course, he did scout this much earlier. The Overlord was back at home. This is a conservative cannon rush here, it does seem. He's gonna commit, and he gets the... Whoa, no! He can get by there, right? Right? There are 4 lings on the way. He can't... Is this bush somehow a goddamn wall? How does that... And he's continuing. It's still happening. If he gets the wall, if he can replace that pylon instantly, he gives it a shot. The lings are here. Oh, but he walls the units out of the base! They're trapped outside their own base! In the cannon! He's a... Oh! I have no words! There are so many levels. Has is a real estate mogul. He's building his own skyscraper. He'll cancel it at the last second. NoRegret is expanding to the other side of the map. Has will cancel. He'll cut his losses. He knows that he's not going to be able to hold on to that for much longer. But he does have an expansion. NoRegret on the other side. Does he know? Does Has know about this? He's making a pylon. He doesn't know about this base. He can build an Overlord, but the creep will be scouted by the pylon. It's not like he wants to mine from this. This is not for mining. This is for Overlord drop and just general shenanigans. This is awkward because that pylon is about to see the base, and if it doesn't see the base, yeah, okay, well, now this is interesting. Now this is something. Apparently this bush walls. All right, it doesn't. This is a hard wall here. Fun fact. I don't understand how, but we saw it on the other side. This is why your units can't get by. Will he just go for the front? There's 2 cannons. There's a zealot standing guard. Working towards a spore crawler. Plenty of banelings at the front. NoRegret gonna try to bust through. The hard wall is already built. Okay, will we be able to get through the pylons and the cannons? That's not enough Banes to kill pylons. Well, he's got to try to get through somehow. You're not getting through there. Your visa has been revoked. All right, also, we shot your dog with cannons because that's how Has do. And also pylon blocking your expansion because fuck you, that's why. As the Zerglings try to penetrate the base, but will find themselves thrown back. 3 Stalkers, more than enough. That Dropper Lord is never going to happen. Is he going to Spinecrawler rush to the high ground so we can get a Dropper Lord up there? Well, that seems like a reliable strategy. NoRegret comes down. Well, the probe looks on. He's right in his face about it. All right. Lets him know who's boss. Asserting dominance by not attacking. The overcharge was used. I'm not sure what he did repel down there. It looks like a handful of Zerglings. Maybe a drop was attempted. The Spinecrawler will move forward. The Stalkers are in range, though. So, I don't... well, that didn't work out. Trying to mine from this base. Alright, so Has once again with the 3 pylon block. While he didn't completely lock NoRegret out, the damage was done. And this time Has isn't going for a Stargate. He's adapted. Alright. He's got a Warp Prism. He's got a Robo, obviously. That was implied by this. And he's busting his way down on the only base. There are a half dozen, 7 drones that can't really do anything because he doesn't have another expansion to mine from. Is he going to fight with the drones? Is that what's going to happen? Just try to save the Expo? This is getting more and more desperate by the second. Jesus. No overcharge quite yet, but we're... Oh, the Immortal blasting through its cannon singing. Don't ask me how these shots work. They're curving it. It's like these Stalkers are in, what was it? Wanted with Anakin Skywalker. You just curve the shots. We've already developed that in the 26th century or whatever it is. The Immortal picked up at the last second. The Stalkers walling off the overcharge at the back, almost assassinating a queen. Trying to mine from this base. I don't believe these drones are getting hazard pay. All they're getting is death. And NoRegret will be forced to tap out. Another quick 2, and that will be 3-2 in this best of 7 cheese down. What a mess. So the cannons, Has fought back. It's now 3-2 as we go into the final 2 matches. Does have what it takes? Or does NoRegret find it within himself to stop 3 pylons from coming up on his ramp? Of course, these are both WCS players. Has won over $75,000 in his career. NoRegret, just last season, qualified for GSL Code S. And sparks are flying. Mostly from photon cannons, but sparks are flying here in this match. Alright. Has will see no expansion. NoRegret has found success in the past in this series with a pull first. He's had enough. He's had enough. No more pylons. No more cannons. Every single game that 3 pylons haven't been built on the ramp, NoRegret has won. So, good start for him thus far, if that trend is anything to speak of. Are we going to see a forge?
Your dedication
Thank you, Whistler.
will be rewarded.
Welcome back, 7 months. Did I put it on the wrong side? God. Every time. Sorry. The probe is still actually at the second base. Are the Lings there to take it out? It doesn't look like it. Now, this wall isn't a hard wall. He has to go all the way up and around. So it's a pretty significant delay here.
Your dedication will
thank
be
you
rewarded.
For joining us. Chthonic Rising. Now, this is a little awkward, because the Cyber Core isn't done. He could maybe lose that gateway. I don't know if the Mothership Core is being chronoed out. I think he may lose the gate. An expansion wants to come up. There's still a probe blocking. If he loses the gate and the Cyber Core, that's really bad. But if he just loses the gate, that's not the end of the world here. The probe will be shut down. The pylon block comes out of Has. Gives a little bit longer delay. I'm not sure why NoRegret stopped attacking the gateway, but unfortunately that means the overcharge is going to drive these Lings back. And there will be no opening. Ironically enough, there will not be a gateway opened up by the lack of a gateway for NoRegret's Lings to get in. He's just going to go for it, right into the overcharge. I don't know, Cav. Well, the overcharge wears off, and he will kill the gate. If he gets the Cyber 2, okay, now we're talking. That's a... Wait, he has a second Cyber. Just that backup Cyber whenever you need it. How did I not see... I'm just not used to seeing 2 Cyber Cores that early, okay? The backup Cyber is already up. But NoRegret is in the main. He does have Zergling speed. He's starting to work on the probes. He only has 11 drones. So 11 drones is not a healthy economy. But he does have a lot of Lings working to break through. Some damage put out by the Lings on the other side. A few seconds away from overcharge, but the Lings will already be streaming in before that happens. Will he pop it in time? Will he even bother? He comes in, he uses the charge. He'll snipe off a couple more Zerglings, but several more make it into the main. And there's already an Adept waiting. I didn't even realize he kept that there. The Stargate is done. The next Cyber Core is vulnerable. A Dropper Lord is here. There is no overcharge. This is his only way in. He's very good at the elevator plays. The Pylon could be taken out as well. There's no really other units. Is the Adept still in the mineral line? There's one Adept in the mineral line, but there's a lot of Lings in the main. The Oracle is on the way, but it's only about a quarter of the way done thus far. He wants to get on top of the Adept. The probes will be called into action. They'll be drafted onto the front lines. And the probe Mothership Core Adept combination in that positioning make this very difficult. The Pentapylon setup there will make sure nothing gets depowered. Well, that's one way to wall off, I guess. The Dropper Lord is still in the main. NoRegret. He's only at 12 drones during all this. No expansion for Has, but that's about to change. More Lings coming in, but this is getting more and more dicey as the Oracle comes across the map. A Spore Crawler will be done, so maybe not too many workers will go down. The Lings will try to fight, but probes are a pretty good unit. A single Adept will die. Only 5 workers have been picked off thus far. For obvious reasons, has some pretty impeccable probe micro. Those Adepts tucked into the edge of the mineral lines. The bookends here. The expansion will be worked on, but the ping-pong balls will come out of the Mothership Core. 25 workers to 19. NoRegret trying to find any opportunity for damage. But, Has is acutely aware of what he needs to do. 3 kills on the Oracle. What are those workers? No workers yet. I think he might have gotten some Lings or larvae. But once again, NoRegret finds himself in a little bit of an awkward situation. Now, this wasn't because Has attacked him early and did a lot of damage. NoRegret tried to break the front. And he did. But not hard enough. It took too long. Too many units were out in time. The probes were pulled at the right timings. And Has now has a Nexus. NoRegret is catching up. Now, here's the situation. Has might have the economic advantage. He does have the Stargate tech. But he's only just getting started. He has to kill... Why don't you just kill this one? You can just kill this pylon. Why are you going to kill 2 pylons to get out? You can just kill this pylon, though. And he has lost his mind. But he doesn't really have production or tech. He's getting the Twilight, he's getting the Forge, he's getting a Void Ray. But NoRegret realizes the situation. He's been all up in his business. He sees how many gates he has. A grand total of 1. Why are you killing... You could have just killed the one other pylon, you masochist! All right.
Your
Thank you,
dedication
Mary.
will
Welcome
be
back.
rewarded.
But Has is shooting himself a little in the foot here. What was I trying to say? What I'm saying is NoRegret realizes there's no way to capitalize on this yet. Has is building up that economy. He's working towards charge. He'll probably be getting a third here in a moment. But there's a couple-minute window where the oracles can't do damage. NoRegret has to drone and attack like a madman. He has to balance all these things very well. Because by the time the follow-up attack comes, probably a lot of charge lots, a warp prism, possibly some archons. If he's not... Okay, never mind, no third base. We're just going to make 6 more gateways. And this attack is going to hit hard, and it's going to hit fast. And NoRegret, I think, if he drones any more from this point, he got his third base, he got a little bit of creep spread, and a third base. I don't know where he gets this kind of money. But any more drones are starting to become very risky. Because once the warp prism comes out, the attack is going to ramp up very quickly. He's really droning up. He's up to, well, 44. He did make some more spore crawlers. It costs drones to build buildings, unfortunately. But will he have the muscular augments? Definitely not the +1. But charge and +1 for Has are almost done. He still has a couple oracles. His warp prism is on the way, and he's already moving out. There's not going to be a baneling nest. Even having muscular augments finished isn't 100% guaranteed right now. And even behind it has a third base. He's cut probe production. He's not making any probes. He doesn't have the gases at the net. This is all about minerals and essentially charge lots. I take it back. He's making probes again. I just don't have any idea what I'm talking about. Lings will slip by because that Zealot was a little bit too excited to get into the fight. More will be warped in. This will take away warp-ins from the other side of the map. But are there enough Hydras? A baneling nest is on the way. He saw all those gateways. He knows what he needs, but does he have the time to get it? The charges go on forever. Long-distance sprinters. The drones are immediately pulled off the line. Anything that can eat the charge, because the charge itself, it does damage. If that connects with the Hydralisk, it makes it that much easier for these +1 lots to work their way through. The Ling's eating some more of the charges. Zealot's being thinned out. Muscular Augments is done, but +1 is not. The charge lots in the back. The Spore Crawler helping out. A couple Adepts aren't too bad against Hydras themselves. Is there another warp in here? More Hydras are coming up. Once he has the +1, that'll help out very meaningfully. Unfortunately, having no Hydras does not. It does seem NoRegret droned a little bit too hard. It's very hard to make that call. But Has is striking at this critical time right before +1, right before Banelings are able to come into play, right before he has a critical mass of units that can just drive this back, and he's shutting it down. The third base is going to be gutted. A third base for Has is already up and running. Even Archon's warping in. At this point, it's a desperation defense, and there's, even if he cleans this up, how does he go across the map and do damage? At this point, you can't just drone up. That time has passed. So it's looking like a killing blow about to be laid down out of Has here. Eats a lot of the Banelings with mostly the Archon. The Warp Prism comes up to reinforce the fight. Another round of charge lots are going to be warped in. There's no hope of targeting that down in time. GG. 3-3. We're going to the final, the elimination match. It's now a best of 1. Not even a best of 7. Has once again comes out on top. Welcome back, Mischief 2013. 7 months in a row.
Your
Too evil to
dedication
hope as
will
well.
be rewarded.
Why isn't kidnapping called a surprise adoption?
I don't make the rules. Alright. Our final map, Interloper. In the bottom right, the Canadian player living in Korea for most of the last year, if I'm not mistaken. NoRegret, who's lost the last 3 games. He picked up the first 3. from Taiwan, the dirtiest Protoss alive. It is Has. No regret. We're gonna go back to the classics. It's looking like a proxy hatch. Will Has be ready for this? He has the money. How close is he gonna put it? Oh, right there. A good old-fashioned giraffe migration. This has to be a spine crawler push. Has is gonna start to realize there's no gold base on this map. It would be really weird and probably bad to just proxy a base. A second gate is on the way. He will scout for it. And he'll see it almost immediately. He knows what's up. No Regret made this very close. But you can't really pull probes to deal with this. It should finish. What happens then? He also hasn't revealed that he scouted it. Right there, Has saw it. Out of vision range of No Regret, and he pulled back instantaneously. Alright, well now it's not instantaneous, but it doesn't matter too much. He's going to make sure it completes. A Zealot will come out. Our drone's going to be a handful of drones, for spine crawlers, of course. But there's going to be a time while the Zealot is starting to work on this. The second pylon was not forgotten. He's working on pylons at the front. This is obviously for a mothership core for overcharge. If that pylon doesn't go down, if this hatchery falls, this is everything. He's put all his eggs on one hatchery here. 3-3. Winner takes all. Actually, I'm not sure if that's how it worked for this match. But we have speed on the way. He's going to try to use the very edge of the creep to put a spine crawler down. Is it out of vision? Well, the creep is not coming together here. He doesn't see the spines. The mothership core is done. Will he pop the overcharge immediately? It looks like probably. If the queen comes out... Well, the queen... Unfortunately, the queen comes out where the eggs spawn. I think the queen is actually hard-walled in right now. I'm pretty sure the queen can't escape until the hatchery dies. And how's that? Oh, I take it back. I lied. JK. The broodling micro comes out. I'm actually not sure if that's broodling micro. A queen kills a mothership core, but only if it doesn't... If it takes, like, 10 points of damage, the mothership core kills the queen. So... And a creep tumor comes out, as well as an overlord here. If he loses any, if he gets supply block, that's the end of this. But the creep tumor was the key to all of this. I neglected to mention how important that was. If that queen doesn't come out, this ends. Without creep, the spine crawlers will eventually die. They can't move, they can't go forward, they can't burrow, they can't do anything. He needs that creep, and he needs it so bad. We have the spine crawler coming up, the overcharge used immediately. The Lings will close the distance. He'll try to get the wraparound, keep him within range of the giraffes. They'll start blasting their way through. The pylon should go down. A lot of the Lings have fallen, but the spine crawlers are still in pretty healthy repair. Lings are still being rallied across the map. A robo is on the way. There's no expansion for Has. It's 22-16 workers. No Regret is all sorts of in on this, but a lot of the production is at the front. Obviously, an Immortal going to help out a lot. The creep tumor will be canceled at the last second. He will spread it forward. He needs to move quickly. Immortals are quite a counter. Unfortunately, these reburrows are not helping. An expansion is being taken. And is this a hard wall? It is a hard wall. He's actually pinned himself up against his own gateways. The Immortal is not even being chrono boosted out. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there. But if he breaks through the gates before the Immortal starts wailing on this from the high ground, that could make the difference. There are a couple overcharges banked up and a couple pylons with which to use them. But the Immortal on the high ground is going to be pretty difficult to deal with. He needs to move those spine crawlers. He does have one transfuse. Will he use it? Trying to break through. There is no expansion, remember. This hatchery is almost entirely for Ling production at this point. Until the gateways die, that Immortal can't shuffle step its way. And this is all the gateway production. He's got one more gateway building in the main. Warp gate is not going to be done. Warp gate will be completed. I'm wondering why he doesn't use that transfuse. Continually trying to move forward. We need the creep as well. Is this in range? As the push continues. A lot of Lings. The gates aren't quite done. Losing the cyber core could hurt. The transfuse used at the last second. But we see an overcharge. One is used. He's just buying space. He's trying to buy as much time as possible. The spine crawler's reaching out, almost killing one of those stalkers. The Immortal blasts down one of the spines, the backbone of this attack. The cyber core could open up some opportunities. Some more hits coming out. The barrier utilized on the Immortals. The number is growing, but Immortals not known for their effectiveness against Zerglings. One more transfuse exists on that Queen. He gets a wraparound on the Immortal. Good positioning up against these pylons. Another overcharge is used. He has one in the bank after this. There's one more transfuse, one more overcharge, 2 spine crawlers, and not even another Immortal coming out now. He needs to draw out that overcharge and break through. This is it. He does have an expansion, but the Army of Has, once it's on the loose here, is he actually going to settle for a contain? He is. Does he know there's not an expansion? I mean, he can intuit it. And NoRegret trying to drone up behind this. He does have 2 bases and good creep. He has full control of this situation. The spine crawler's at the front. He can get a wraparound. Is that enough lings, though? There are a few force fields in the mix. The lings have to be utilized here as he tries to target this down. How are the force fields going to work out? They reduce the surface area of the lings, but not greatly. The Immortals are trapped. They're not actually firing. They're not firing. They're not on a move. Critical mistake out of Has. But there's just too many units and not enough surface area. Several more units were lost there than needed to be, as Has made a little bit of a mistake with the right click, as the lings got the full surround. Gets all tripped up there when the Zerglings... And now Has doesn't have a... I don't think he's walled off his own Nexus. I just don't think he ever has a plan of making a Nexus, as the proxy contained from NoRegret. He still only has 18 drones, but this is not an army that can go out on the map very easily. The Baneling Nest isn't quite done yet. He's stepping a little bit on the creep. He's not even investing in an observer. A handful of force field. He has to fight through. The force field's really reducing that surface area. The Immortals, once again, aren't firing. Some key mistakes. Are there enough lings this time? The Queen even adding in some damage. He might be able to save the Immortals, but they're the only units who will live up to that name. And NoRegret has just held on to the proxy hatch contain. There are so many Zerglings now. He can just break through the front. 3 pylons could almost be killed by a set of Banelings. The spines will once again re-engage aggressively. The Nexus will be built, but there's no units at home. The spine crawlers. He has overcharges. He can pop them. He's worried about the Immortal Micro. NoRegret still only has 20 drones. So if he expands, he's really holding on to these overcharges. I'm not... He was too caught on the other side of the map. But if he kills the Queen, you can't transfuse the Queen. Ooh, the force field at the last second. And this time chooses a much better one. He's actually drawing the overcharge. You could kill it! You could kill it! You could kill the Queen! It's all about this micro, though. The Mothership Corps are going to go assassinate. Well, there's just one Queen! You could go kill it! Just doesn't seem to have the motivation to kill the Queen. The Immortal drop on the other side seems flustered. It says, like, no, just kill it! Oh my god! The Queen who lived. He doesn't want to go on trial for war crimes. It looks like the Queen might actually kill the Mothership Corps. The drop in the back just doing nothing. And at this point, I'm not even sure the Mothership Corps beats the Queen. Once again, driven back. There's no spore. There's nothing that can hit it. There's no overcharge here. Good force fields, but the gateways have been unpowered. He doesn't... You can kill it! He refuses to kill the Queen. The probes come off the line. It looks like the Warp Prism will come back as well. And Has just not able to get the shots off he needed. Over and over and over again. NoRegret after 3 losses, making it look real rough there. With the proxy hatch, will bring it back. And take it. The Canadian Zerg over the Taiwanese Protoss. Has, did not have what it took. And there will be no... Well, he will have regrets. And thank you again to Pig for sending out those replays. This was from Pig putting on some show matches recently. And sending them out to subs, those replays. If you want to have these and more yourself, subscribe to Pig. But thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed my casting of that. That was a total and utter mess. But yeah, that was something. That was pretty interesting. Yep.